You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Jackie Ray.
Greetings.
We're going to go beyond the box score in just a moment.
After you get this bus off my back?
Yes. In the first segment, Carnisha threw you under the bus, saying you had a very good time at Chateau Le Mans.
I did.
Your first time attending.
Yes.
I noticed that when you were on the air with me, you were well hydrated.
Yes, I was.
And they called you Jack Daniels, Ray.
I like that.
Did you have any Jack Daniels?
I did not, but I had Screwball.
Explain.
Screwball is a peanut butter whiskey. Now, I made some horchata, okay? Now, I'm just...
Made and brought
horchata. And I just wasn't getting enough of the cinnamon. I put a ton of cinnamon in there. You know how you're supposed to put cinnamon in it? I was like, it's just not hitting. And then I was like, I wonder if horchata will be good in here. Or the Screwball will be, man, listen, it was delicious. And we brought 2 bottles, so we had extra to share.
Wait, you had 2 bottles of the Screwball?
Yeah, we had a medium one that was just for he and I, and we knew we would share the bigger one. So
who's he?
Reggie, my friend that I brought. My friend that I brought, y'all. Friend. Y'all see me on YouTube looking directly into the friend.
That's what you call it, okay.
It does sound good, though.
It was delicious. Highly recommend y'all make some horchata and put some Screwball in it. You will thank me later, I promise.
Okay, so you brought the horchata.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan brought the Jack Daniels.
I did have some sort of punch with some Jack Daniels in it, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Nice. We ran out of the Screwball, and so I had to switch it up.
So you had a good time, nonetheless.
Fantastic time.
What was your takeaway from the event overall?
First of all, I love your house. The way that Mo's house is decked out, it should be on what is that? Garden of the Homes, Home Garden. What is that where they have Parade of Homes? I was going to get there eventually.
I thought you were Better Homes and Gardens.
So I got there. So beautiful. The dogs were so loving. But what I really loved the most about it was the family atmosphere. Good adult fun, but not too far that kids couldn't have a good time too. It
Plenty
was amazing.
Kids there.
So many kids there. It was a great time.
And I was trying to explain to some people that they say, why didn't you invite listeners? Because
it's my house.
It's my house. It's not a public listener event.
Yeah.
I just decided, since I'm home celebrating the 4th of July, instead of taking a day off, I have the equipment and the technical expertise, just do a live broadcast from the house. But it's not a listener event.
No.
Sorry, I love you, but I don't know y'all like that.
You don't know me, man. It was a great time, though, and I really appreciate it. There were some people, for those of you who don't know, I used to also be an anchor here at KFI, and there were some people I hadn't seen in a while, and I got to see them, give them hugs, catch up. It was really just like a big, giant family reunion. I loved it. I had so much fun.
What time did you leave, roughly? I don't remember.
So we went... The fireworks had just started, and then my friend's son wanted to see the fireworks, so we went up the hill. And friend, okay?
Does he know that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's a whole sordid tale behind that. That's another show.
No, I met your ex once. So when I see you come to the party with someone else, it's a reasonable assumption that
it is reasonable. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. I'm just saying right now he is in the friend zone.
Okay, there's some folks who
he's handsome, y'all. He's very, very handsome, but he's tall. We talked about the tall thing last week.
6'3", 6'4"?
He's like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", something like that. So he's tall. He's in good shape. So there's he checks some of the boxes, but not all of the boxes. Thus the friends.
Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of kids there. It was definitely a family event.
Yes, the music was banging.
And I told Miles, my son, in advance, no profanity.
Yep, he did a good job.
It has to be for everyone, or don't play it, or I will literally pull the plug on you.
Yeah,
so
and
had to understand it.
Yeah, unlike Carnival Cruise Line, we got to do the wobble.
Yes, and I know my mama was out there doing the wobble with you.
Yep, did the wobble. We did the where them fans at. Broke the fan.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody broke the fan.
You did the cha-cha slide. Did you do the cha-cha slide as well?
Did we do the cha-cha slide?
No, we did it's the other song that goes over and over, and I don't like it.
I don't remember. We did.
I think it's the wobble.
We did the wobble. We didn't do another slide. Maybe it was a cha-cha slide.
It wasn't a cha-cha.
It wasn't. We did three line dances.
3 different line dances.
So I don't remember the third.
Yeah, and we have some video of that. I know, and I have to give kudos to Carnisha because she was tape. Like we were all working on some level.
Yes. Mhm.
Jackie Ray, you were there, but you did a segment on air. Carnisha, you're doing the social media. You know, that's why I try to remind people we had a lot of fun. Don't get us wrong, but we were still taking care of business.
Yes. Fun fact, Aaron said he loves a woman that can drink. I'm your girl.
Oh my goodness.
You can put them back.
Right. But I intentionally stopped drinking like about 15, 20 minutes before the show. And then as soon as I was done, I ran down. I was like, who wants a shot?
I heard you. And if you stopped drinking 15, 20 minutes before the show, you weren't at your drunkest point.
I was not. I was holding off.
Right, because the alcohol hadn't completely caught up to you. You were in rare form.
I was.
My body was warm by the time the show started.
Yeah, we're gonna get put off the air.
Yeah, but there was no Freudian slips, nothing.
Yeah.
You were in rare form. Let me put it that way.
I got to hear it back now. Was it bad form?
No, you should listen to it.
No.
You could hear you were not only self-aware, but you had a level of comfort that everyone know that this was a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
So you were not the drunkest person on air at the party.
Who won that award?
I'm not going to call that person out. That was in previous
that's
years.
how you don't back a bus up over somebody.
Oh my gosh.
Previous years, there were some drunk ass folk on air, and I don't want to say anything because they might still work here.
Oh, okay. All right. There it is. Maybe it was the electric slide. Did we do the electric slide?
Yes, you did.
It was the
yes,
electric slide. Okay, I see you. I see you, Aqua, in the chat. You right.
Yes, it was definitely electric slide because I remember coming downstairs and seeing this line of people doing the electric slide.
There it is. It was a great time. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had an amazing time. I shall be back every year.
What time did you leave approximately? Let me back up. Did you get a chance to go up to the park to see the fireworks?
That's where we went. We went up to the park. We saw, and so once the fireworks started dying down, then we drove home. But let me tell you something. When we drove, the streets like a war zone. We literally.
Stephen, how many times have we tried to tell them?
There you go.
It is like driving through what I imagine to be Beirut.
Oh my God. There was one area that they had so many burnt out fireworks on the ground.
Yes.
That I was like, this looked like Armageddon.
And
What is
they
happening
probably
here?
got mad if you drove through.
Oh,
their
they did.
fireworks.
They were like, what's going on? I'm like, intersection card. This is how this works.
Yeah, they get very, very angry at you for interrupting their illegal fireworks session.
And then there's like so much smoke that it's like you have to drive slow because you can't see. You don't want to hit anybody.
You don't. No, it's dangerous for you and it's dangerous for them.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that scene from The Fog. Have you seen The Fog where they driving slow through the thing? And I'm like, I hope no monsters come out of this fog. This is ridiculous.
There's Jackie Ray just tearing it up.
Yes, Jackie Ray. You can find it on the YouTube show at Mr. Mo Kelly. You have some footage from the actual 4th of July soiree at Chateau Le Mo. Some of the folks who do, I think they have some of the line dancing as well.
Yes. We had a great time. And everyone was on beat, praise God.
I don't know if God had anything to do with it.
Praise God.
I don't
There's
think
nothing worse than a line dance with people off beat.
I can't disagree with
That's
you.
why I sat down. That's exactly why I sat down.
When we come back, we have actually some real news to talk about. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz has been placed on paid leave amid another gambling investigation. And the California Attorney General, Rob Bonta, has declared daily fantasy sports illegal gambling. We'll talk about both when we come back. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We're going to Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Ray.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Later with Mo Kelly, going Beyond the Box Score with Jackie Ray. We had some fun last segment talking about Chateau Le Mo and the drinking habits of Jackie Ray on that occasion. She was in rare form on the air, but no one got hurt.
Everyone's safe and
That's
accounted
right.
for.
And people don't know. Everybody had a designated driver. So
Everybody, yeah.
we were all good in that regard, if you were wondering.
Yes.
But some serious sports and society news. Rob Bonta, the Attorney General for the state of California, he issued a formal legal opinion. That's not a ruling. It doesn't have any type of legislative teeth. But he issued a formal opinion declaring that daily fantasy sports platforms constitute a form of illegal online sports betting. Most people, I don't think, remember, online sports betting remains illegal in the state of California.
Right.
which calls into question the usage of FanDuel, Prize Picks, and DraftKings, where actual money is being exchanged and people can download the app and you can play a game and win real money here in California. So he's not wrong. I don't know.
Not wrong, yeah.
I don't know how these online betting platforms have managed to skirt that, but it runs parallel to our other discussions about how gambling has corrupted, my word, professional sports. Have you ever used any of these online sports betting?
I tried
apps?
to use DraftKings one time, and I think it was right around when we were still deciding if we could use apps like DraftKings, and it still has my $25 because I couldn't bet at the time because it said it was illegal where I was. Now, to be fair, I think I was traveling at the time, so maybe I was in a different city, but I don't have enough of an interest in it to go back. But I will probably bet on like the WNBA finals if I can, because now I feel like I watched that enough. I'm educated enough on that maybe I can make a good fantasy bet, but I don't like to do this thing called losing money. So I don't bet on things very often.
I have not a gambling bone in my body. I don't buy lottery tickets. Yes, I'm in the work lottery pool, but I'm not going to go actually to buy lottery tickets. I haven't played any of these online sports betting apps, but even though I am aware that a lot of people do, including professional athletes. And you have to think, if you think that you know the WNBA better than most, I'm thinking that a person who is actually playing the sport
even better
has inside information.
Yes.
And these stories aren't connected, but in my mind, they are connected. When Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz was placed on non-disciplinary paid leave as part of an ongoing investigation by Major League Baseball, which is weird. They're investigating themselves. Here's the quote. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz has been placed on non-disciplinary paid leave throughout the end of the All-Star break due to an MLB investigation. We will not comment further until the investigation has been completed. As far as I'm concerned, if you're under investigation, they already have some smoke and some
I'm like, don't say anything until you're ready to say this is what we found, because now you're just having everyone speculate. And let's just say, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's just say the investigation doesn't turn up anything. Now you've put this slight tarnish on his name for no reason. Just wait till it's all done and then release it.
That's what they should have done. And if you don't know, the federal government, if they're investigating someone, if you're under grand jury investigation, they don't let the world know.
Right.
The only way you'll know is if you've been indicted, because you could be investigated and you take it to a grand jury and you have a no bill, you don't come back with a true bill. They're not going to ruin your name just because of investigation. But let's go a little bit deeper. According to other published reports, there are 2 pitches which were flagged by betting integrity firm IC360 for unusual gambling activity. That goes back to the prop bets.
Exactly right.
And so if you're talking prop bets, you're talking what? Prize Picks.
Yep.
DraftKings, FanDuel.
You're betting on a very specific incident happening during the game.
And the alleged pitches took place on June 15th and June 27th. So this is hella recent. The June 15th pitch was the first pitch against the Seattle Mariners in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The June 27th pitch was the first pitch in the 3rd inning. Like, in other words, you can bet whether someone's going to throw a strike. Or someone's going to strike out. That's how specific it can get. I don't bet, but I know how the prop bets work. And both of the pitchers allegedly received the unusual activity in regards to a micro bets on the first pitch of each inning to be a ball or hit batsman.
So this is what I'm saying. You finish that investigation, because this could literally be, dang, I had a really off night and now y'all got me under investigation. Or it could really be, I told somebody I was going to have a really off night on these specific pitches.
Or there is fire behind the smoke.
Right.
And they have seen or they know of betting activity on his part.
And so to the governor, or to who wrote the paper? Attorney General, to his point, the best way to fix this is to just make it illegal entirely in California. Now, that's not going to fix it everywhere else, because I have family and friends in Colorado.
Well, bookies still exist regardless.
They still exist, but at least it also gives your complaint or your investigation a little bit more teeth. But I'm going to say this again. You're trying to protect the integrity of a sport that is married to something you want people to have integrity against. That doesn't make sense.
So you're saying churches should not necessarily be endorsed by Ashley Madison?
Oh, yes, that is awful.
Okay, but I think there's a parallel here.
There's definitely a parallel. Because this is basically the equivalent of your parents saying to you, do as I say, not as I do. That's what's happening right now.
And also punishing you accordingly.
Yes. Like, you disobeyed me. I don't mind me over here placing these bets. Just worry about yourself. Now you in trouble. It's just a whole mess.
I wonder, though, and I'm just wondering out loud, whether this is going to create such a momentum where baseball will have to divorce itself from these gambling entities. When you see a Rob Bonta basically laying the foundation for something more to put these other places out of business as far as California is concerned. Then you have Major League Baseball worrying about their profile and their future and the integrity of their sport. Yeah, it can develop a negative momentum. Right.
Well, when you have a name like Shohei Ohtani wrapped up in a gambling scandal that he, definitely was not named properly, in my opinion, but when you have a name like that, having a big name on, even whether it's a name like Shohei Ohtani, which everybody knows, or a name that's specifically big in that region or for that team, that's damaging to the brand. And none of these entities, whether it's the MLB, NBA, WNBA, they're more concerned about their brand, which is why they try to investigate these things. But again, it's still a contradiction, because you're investigating people because you're saying, we want our fans to know that when you go out there, you're playing your best. Full stop. And that you're not trying to taint the game in any way, but then you marry an entity that is promoting you tainting the game in some way.
I don't know if they can get around this in any way unless you completely excise
exactly right.
it. There's no way around. And look, we started talking about this in a very playful way, maybe a year ago. Yeah. And now it's one a week, which means it's like roaches, like you said, where there's one, there's hundreds more. There are plenty more that we don't know about across sports. We're talking Major League Baseball. We're talking professional basketball. We're talking professional NFL football. Only thing we haven't seen is hockey as of yet, but it just hasn't happened. Or it's just that we don't know about it, because I have to assume with every professional sport, you have players who are going to be... I'll say either intrigued or tempted.
Yeah. And the thing is like, just because even if they made it illegal in the sport and they did divorce, these betting entities, that's not necessarily going to stop players from betting. However, it does give your investigation more teeth, because now you've set the standard.
Yeah, you give yourself some daylight. You've separated yourself from the evil entity, which will bring down your sport. And what we're not hearing in these investigations, and it will be interesting to see if any of these players are actually using these particular apps. I believe they are. But they've made it clear. So this goes back to Major League Baseball doing the investigation. They're not going to tell us if this guy was using one of the apps that is a sponsor of the league.
Because then what do you say? So, my wife over here, this baseball player was playing the game that my wife made. Then you're like, well, then what? It's too convoluted. And I don't know. I mean, at least, again, you can't, it's hypocritical at best. And
illegal at worst.
Right.
Jackie Ray, it's always good to see you. Glad you had a good time at Chateau Lemo.
An amazing time at Chateau Lemo.
And all the stuff that you forgot at my house, I have in my car.
Okay, that's cool.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And this is another portion of our ongoing conversation about AI. To be serious, AI is here to stay. Now, we have different opinions, Mark Ronner and I, regarding how we should allow AI in, or what we should do to slow down its influence and involvement in our day-to-day lives. You know anything about AI, it's already part of your life. Let's say you use GPS. Let's say you have a streaming service and its algorithm as far as what it wants to recommend to you. That's AI. It comes in different forms. But at the end of it all, it's going to eradicate a lot of jobs across all industries. I've always been of the opinion that because of capitalism, people want to make money. And in making money, you can make money by increasing your revenue or decreasing your expenses, or a combination of both. There's not a boss out there. There's not a company out there that doesn't want to decrease its expenses. And one of the largest expenses is the employee factor. Fewer employees, fewer people you have to pay, fewer benefits, vacation days, people taking days off, signing bonuses, raises, all those things. Here's another example. Ford CEO Jim Farley says AI will wipe out half of white-collar jobs. Half. 50%. And this was during the Aspen Ideas Festival last week. He said, quote, "There's more than one way to the American dream, but our whole education system is focused on a 4-year education," talking about going to college. "Hiring an entry worker at a tech company has fallen 50% since 2019. Is that really where we want all of our kids to go? Artificial intelligence is going to replace literally half of all white-collar workers in the U.S." That's not what I'm saying. That's what Jim Farley of Ford is saying. And this is after I told you last week about what Amazon CEO Andy Jassy had to say, who said, quote, "We will need fewer people doing some of the jobs that are being done today and more people doing other types of jobs. It's hard to know exactly where this nets out over time, but in the next few years, we expect that this will reduce our total corporate workforce as we get efficiency gains from using AI extensively across the company." Mark, you may not like it, but they're telling you what they're going to do and who it's going to hurt.
God bless America. And I'm sure those people will be so grateful that they'll just go lie down and die for the convenience of their robot overlords.
No, they won't. And that actually leads us to the next portion of the conversation, where eventually there won't be enough jobs for everyone. And we can complain about the unemployment rate of 2029, but there won't be enough jobs, period. And I know that Jim Farley mentioned the traditional route of going to college for a 4-year education. People have to know that AI is going to take out a lot of trade professions as well. Mm-hmm. When you're talking about automation, Jim Farley, when he's talking about Ford, it's mostly automated plant. And you add AI to that equation, this is going to take out a lot of trade jobs.
There's a lot of areas where I think people don't ask the logical next question, which I'm always asking, which is, okay, so what happens to those people now? Whether it's this, whether it's yanking Medicaid from 12 million people or whatever the number is, what happens to those people now? And we don't always, not only do we not always have an answer to that, we don't even have a functioning media that will ask people in power that question.
It gets worse than that because we, as I would say, a generally uninformed public, will recognize the problems, but we don't see the connectivity of all those problems. Like, for example, the people that you talked about who will lose their jobs to AI, they likely end up homeless, or they likely end up with health care issues that they will not be covered for. And it brings the whole system crashing down. But we hate homelessness, and we don't like people leeching off the system. We don't like, the high cost of health care. Well, I got news for you. Part of the high cost of health care is people getting sick without any health care. And they're trying to make sure that they are buttressed up against the system where if Mark and I have disproportionate health issues and we don't have any health coverage, someone's got to pay for it. You know who pays for that? The folks who supposedly have health care.
That's right. It's all connected. And I should add that no other civilized country on earth would trade their healthcare system for our indefensible, terrible one. I mean, look at the number of medical bankruptcies we have each year, the number of people who die because they can't get any health care. I just read over the weekend that 51,000 more people are expected to die each year as a result of this new budget bill that's passed. Again, it's the question, what happens to those people now? We have to keep asking that question.
From the YouTube Motown chat, T. Hannon says, computer skills / programming / STEM, good for the future. We have to think differently. Humans will always be involved and active in the workforce. I 100% disagree. There are jobs now which will no longer exist in any form or fashion in 5 to 10 years. Do you think a taxi driver is going to exist in 10 years? I don't think so. Do you think an Uber driver, sorry, Stefan, is going to exist in 10 years? Do you think that the truck driver will exist in 10 years, given autonomous vehicles and where that industry just alone is pushing us? Some of these jobs are not going to go. They're not going to go somewhere else. And you can't just train people to have AI jobs. No, AI is to replace us. And this goes back to capitalism. Capitalism is about making money, not making sure you have a job. If they can do that job without you, then they will do that job without you. The only reason we still have cashiers is because people are not quite comfortable with only dealing with self-checkout. That's it.
Unless they're buying something really embarrassing, like Preparation H or lube or something.
They sell lube at the grocery store?
I wouldn't know.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. We got your horoscope when we come back. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Here's your weekly horoscope for this week. And according to the title, I don't choose the title. This is to all, I tell you. Your future revealing itself in Uranus.
Great.
So juvenile. So juvenile. Aries. Boundless, vast, and attuned to the cosmos and what's beyond. Create space within the existing structures of your mind for this invitation. As Uranus initiates a rebirth of your thinking, the full moon invites a release of old visions and career goals as you step into place as authority of your life.
Uranus is doing a lot right now.
Taurus. This week marks a profound shift as Uranus leaves your sign, where it has been since 2018. There is space to reintroduce yourself to who you have become during this time. As your relationship with resources, both tangible and intangible, asks to be renewed, the week invites a release of perspectives and beliefs that were never yours. Gemini, welcome to your reinvention. This week invites liberation from existing identities so that you may more freely explore who you are becoming. Don't resist exploring your unconscious.
Where?
Here is where you can reclaim, renew, and transform yourself from the inside out.
That is all the way there. Yeah.
Cancer. The unseen is calling your name through dreams, intuition, and your spirituality. Let these awakenings, profound openings, and liberation from the unconscious infiltrate your mind. As the moon meets her fullness, it will become apparent why you need to release your old narratives and fears surrounding love, success, responsibility, and relationships.
All that from Uranus.
Leo. This week is a doorway to innovation, hope, and new dreams. Uranus in Gemini invites you to break free and dare to envision a future that truly excites you. As the moon meets her fullness, let go of any old habits and routines that feel heavy.
So the full moon Uranus.
Have you ever been to Panda Express and you get a fortune cookie and you're supposed to read it and supposed to put in bed at the end of all the fortune cookies, no matter what it says? Mm-hmm. You've never done that, Carnisha?
No, you just read it and then eat your cookie.
No.
But
you put the phrase in bed on the end of it. It's so juvenile, but I think that we're there.
Watch, try on Leo.
Leo, this week is a doorway to innovation, hope, and new dreams. Uranus and Gemini invite you to break free and dare to envision a future that truly excites you. As the moon meets her fullness, let go of any old habits and routines that feel heavy.
In bed.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Virgo, this week offers you a previously unexplored way of moving through the world. It begins a different chapter in your work, your legacy, and your long-term visions by asking you to become your own authority. Allow yourself. Move in alignment with your intuition, authenticity, creativity, and happiness.
Can we see Uranus from Earth?
Libra. There's a different way to relate to truth that brings an expansion of mind and an exploration of meaning as you create your own philosophies, cosmologies, and beliefs. and it is a space of profound interconnection and release of inherited narratives. Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to a radical shift in how you relate to authority, power, and intimacy. This week welcomes transformation from within your emotional tides and holds the space for liberation of unconscious narratives and beliefs surrounding finances and love. It's time to release your old narratives.
Absolutely.
From
Uranus.
Sagittarius. That's me.
Let's see what Uranus offers for Sagittarius.
This week brings a shift to the foundations of your relationships, identity, and need for freedom. It provides a space to release restricting relational dynamics and patterns of dependency as you explore what conscious liberation means. It's also an opportunity to examine your dynamics relating to worthiness, success, finances, and safety.
Now, you see how Uranus actually means a lot for you this week?
Well, really, it's every week, isn't it?
Especially with the round moon rising.
You know what's extra cool is that somebody just now tuning in would never mistake this for NPR.
Capricorn. The landscape of your everyday rhythms and routines desires more space. I don't know why you just routinely left out the easy, low-hanging fruit joke of my dreams. My recurring dream?
Accept responsibility for Uranus.
Yeah.
Mo.
The way you manage your time, Capricorn, your energy and your priorities is shifting so you can begin welcoming more inspiration and movement. As the moon meets her fullness in your sign, may you consider yourself to be also fluid, ever-changing, and able to let go of old identities.
Is that what they call it?
Aquarius, this week initiates self-expression by inviting authenticity, liberation, creativity, and a reconnection to the spark of life moving through your body. I'll wait.
No. I had something else.
As the moon meets her fullness, there's a release from within your unconscious realm. Nobody? Okay. You are changing, transforming, and creating the space for a different you.
Out of Uranus.
Pisces. Your weekly horoscope brings profound inner liberation. As the landscapes that shaped you and your patterns come into question, you are afforded space to create something new for yourself. This is your chance to explore your desires for what is yet to happen and release what no longer aligns with that.
That is what happens when you get all of your chi together and you can release everything from here to Uranus.
Bunny Hillary says, where's the rim shot for Mark on that?
Yeah, I don't know what you meant.
Mark never says anything
I
funny.
expect nothing from you guys.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was good, Mark. That was great.
Don't expect them to acknowledge it. They're not large enough men.
Must have missed it.
I really, really am comfortable with you leaving my anus out of this, okay?
But that makes two of us. We finally agree on something.
KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere. It wasn't that funny, Carnisha.
No.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, my first rip shot.
No. That was for Mark, not your laugh.
That was like an encapsulating Uranus rim shot.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you could
if
give
you're
Mo
gonna-
one for his moon, too, while you're at it.
I mean, if you're over there getting rim shots, spoosh.
Careful.
Knock it out.
I'm going to quote a line from Black Panther. Are you done? Are you done yet? Are you done?
This is on you.
KFI AM 640, we're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.